Karl-Anthony Towns is a player who does not get talked about enough for as talented as he is. He's one of the most versatile players in the entire NBA. His combination of size, athleticism, and guard-like skills as a 7-footer make him one of the toughest players to guard in the entire league, and the reason that he isn't talked about as much as he deserves to be is because of the lack of team success that the Timberwolves have had pretty much since Karl-Anthony Towns was drafted to their team, and even before that. If Cat played for a better organization, would we be talking about him as one of the best centers, if not the best center in the entire NBA? I'm not sure, but in today's video, we'll talk about Cat, his skill set, and whether or not he is the best center in the entire league. Let's get right into it. If you've not already, please make sure to like this video and subscribe to my channel. I'm uploading videos every single week, and your support goes a long way. But anyways, getting into things, for as talented as a player as Karl-Anthony Towns is, like I mentioned before, I don't think he gets talked about nearly enough, nearly as much as he deserves to be. At almost 7 feet tall and 250 pounds, it should not be possible for a guy like Karl-Anthony Towns to handle the ball, shoot the ball, or move around the court as well as he does. Cat has been a dominant player since he entered the league in 2015, but he's also gotten better each and every season that he has spent in the NBA. I think that the few weaknesses that he had coming into the league have been improved. I think that he's refined his skills. He's become an even better scorer than he already was, a better passer, and an all-around better player than he was as a rookie. And like I mentioned, he was very, very impressive even as a rookie when he entered the league. So it will be scary to see what Karl-Anthony Towns is like, what kind of player, what kind of impact he can have when he is at his full strength, when he is in his prime, and we could be seeing that in these upcoming seasons. Over the past several seasons, Karl-Anthony Towns has been not only one of the most productive big men in the entire NBA, but one of the most productive players, and his numbers definitely speak to that. For his career, Cat has averaged 22.9 points per game, 11.6 rebounds per game, 3 assists per game. On the defensive end, he's put up 0.8 steals per game, 1.4 blocks per game, and he's also shot nearly 53% from the field, as well as almost 40% from 3. So, like I said, very, very impressive numbers, and he's been putting up these type of numbers for pretty much his entire career. But even with that great production, even with all the great things that Cat does, all the skills that he has that you don't normally see on a big man, he is not without flaw. The biggest criticism of him so far in his career has definitely been his defense. Coming into the league, he was a defensive liability. He was a guy who was not a tough defender on the interior at all. He was a soft defender. He got pushed around a lot. He was not a great rim protector. He was just pretty much bad on defense. In my opinion, he is no longer a liability. I think that he's improved a lot on the defensive end, but he is still by no means a lockdown defender. He's not one of the top rim protectors in the league. He is not a defensive player of the year candidate like some of the other best big men in the league. And for me, it's kind of surprising that he isn't, given his athleticism, given his size, given his knowledge of the game and all the things that he does on the court. It definitely does surprise me that Karl-Anthony Towns isn't more of a dominant force in the paint on the defensive end. But like I said, he has improved it a ton since he entered the league. He is no longer a liability, so if he's able to keep improving and he can kind of dip his feet into that elite rim protector range, that elite rim protector category, if he could even be mentioned in that conversation, I think that Karl-Anthony Towns will be one of the best, most well-rounded big men in the entire NBA, because like we've already talked about, he is already one of the best scoring big men. He's already one of the best offensive big men in the league. So if Cat can keep improving his defense and even catch up a little bit to the level that he is on the offensive end, I think that it's really going to take his game to the next level, and I think they would really do wonders for the success that the Minnesota Timberwolves have as a team. Having a player like Karl-Anthony Towns on their team, you would expect the Timberwolves to have a lot more success. With as talented as he is, with some of the other players that they have had come through their team, you would expect them to be better, but they just haven't. It seems like every single season, fans have hope for the Timberwolves to turn it on and finally have the big season that we know that they are capable of having because of the talent that they have on their team. But year after year, they disappoint, and there are a few reasons for this in my opinion. The biggest reasons for the struggles that the Minnesota Timberwolves have had, in my eyes, has been the inconsistency within the organization. So much roster turnover and coaching changes have made it nearly impossible for them to build an identity or any type of chemistry between the players that they have kept. Cat himself has had 5 different coaches in 7 years of playing in the NBA. It's no wonder why they have been unable to build a culture, like I said before, as well as build chemistry. It just doesn't make sense to have that many different coaches. Obviously, some of them were necessary, but I think it's pretty obvious that the Minnesota Timberwolves as an organization are the problem with their team's success when you look at the multiple core players that have left their team and had more success with their new teams. Zach LaVine is a star in Chicago. Andrew Wiggins, while he will probably never live up to the superstar potential that everyone saw in him when he entered the league, has been playing a pretty important role for the Warriors so far, and they are the best team in the NBA right now. Jimmy Butler is an MVP candidate with the Miami Heat. All of these guys were on the Timberwolves, and they managed to let them all go. None of those players were happy in Minnesota, and now all of those players, like I said before, are thriving on new teams. Another thing that I think would help the Timberwolves a ton is veteran leadership. You look at what the Suns did with adding Chris Paul. They went from a non-playoff team to an NBA Finals team just by adding one player. The Suns were in a very similar position to what the Timberwolves are in now. They had a lot of young, talented players, but they struggled to put a system in place. They struggled to put wins together. After adding Chris Paul and getting Monty Williams as a head coach, they now have some consistency, and they finally turned all that talent into wins. I truly do believe that Minnesota is just a few small changes away from giving Cat the help he needs and truly making the jump that we all know that they are capable of, but I fear that if they don't make that jump, if they don't make those changes, Cat might be tempted to leave or request a trade from Minnesota in the very near future. It would be a shame for them to lose him. It'd be a shame for them not to turn all of the talent that they have, all of the players that they have had into something. It'd be a huge waste of potential, both for Cat and the Timberwolves. Like I said, let me know what you guys think. Let me know if you think that the Timberwolves can turn things around. Let me know if you think that Karl-Anthony Towns would be considered the best center in the NBA if the Timberwolves were a better team. Let me know where you think he ranks among NBA players and among NBA big men. And remember to like and subscribe if you enjoyed. I will see you in the next one.